names on the paper. First thing, you have to know the following slope formula. Yeah. No, that's slope intercept. So I go ahead and fill that in. Y equals mx plus b. Slope formula. That's when we do y. Yes. So we use this formula whenever given 2 points. Okay, either on the graph or just in the problem. What about standard form?
AX plus BX equals C. I mean BY.
Yep, there it is. AX plus BY equals C. So, guys, from the forms, you have to always solve for Y. So we have to know how to isolate the Y variable. All right, so the first thing, first skill, we'll see if you can just retain it and do it. So on 1 through 3, they want you to find the slope of the line shown on the graph. So find the slope shown on the graph. How am I going to find the slope if I give in a graph?
The 2 dots.
Okay, what am I doing with these 2 dots?
You're going to find the point on the y line and the point on the x line.
Point on the y line? You mean here on the y-axis?
Yeah, y-axis.
But that one, it's not using the 2 points anymore. Slope. We've already forgot how to do slope.
Rise over run.
Yes, rise over run. They give you the 2 points. Start from the left. You read left to right. You would have to go down on this point. Down would be negative, so that's -3. And then to the right. Look what I'm doing. I'm drawing the triangle.
-3 over 4.
Yes, our answer M is a -3/4. Try number 2. Yes, please. Don't forget about the chili. Number 2, guys, come on. Let's see what you can do on your own. Some of you are still copying number 1. We need to do or simplify it. Give the simplified answer always.
Correct.
Yes.
And then I got undefined.
8 over 4 reduces to just 2, or you can tell me 2 over 1. I would accept both answers. And then, yes, number 3, you should be able to just look at it and answer.
Undefined.
Yes, undefined. It's a vertical line. Okay. Now, we're going to graphing. Graph each equation in slope-intercept form. That form is our y equals mx plus b form, right? We start with what?
You start at 5 on the y-axis.
Yeah, we start with the b first. So b is first. Our b equals 5, which is on the y-axis. We count up 5 and plot a point. You're going to use your m second. That's what number in front of x. Our m equals what? 2. So that means that's a ratio of 2 over 1. So how do I move from this point?
You go up 2, and then 1 to the right.
Very good. Count up 2 and 1 to the right and repeat that. Or you can count down 2, go reverse order, down 2, left 1. All right, you want to use your ruler, line up your points, draw a line through your points. So on number, I probably should have moved this up a little bit, but on number on number 5 here. Oops, I don't know what happened. There it goes. Since our b, which is what we start, is 1, make sure we read the m correctly. I know it's a fraction, negative 5/3, but where does the negative sign go? Because right now it's just to the side here.
It goes to the top.
It's either to the top like that or to the bottom, but it can't go to both. Make sure you do not put it to both because that will turn into a positive. All right. So try and see if you can do 5. I'm really going to focus on the left side of the paper. You're going to finish the right side. Okay. Start with your y-intercept, and then this will help you with your counting. As for your direction, negative is going down, positive is going up. If it's a -3 on the bottom, that would be going to the left versus to the right. Now, let's look at number 6. Let's watch this carefully, because every time we're finding the b and the m.
The B is 2.
Yeah, the b is 2. This is written backwards. Remember, your m is always in front of the x, the coefficient of x. So our m is a -4/1. Okay. We start on the y-axis, counting up to and plotting a point there. Now we're going to move from that point, going down and to the right. So we count down 4, down 4, and then to the right 1. And we can repeat that. Or you can go in the opposite direction.
And it's 7 just horizontal, vertical.
It is just vertical. Very good. Good eye. I think my line is off. There we go. Yes, this is one of our special cases on number 7. We have to remember O of x. Because we have x equals a number -4, this is going to be a vertical line. All right, when you have this, flip it over. Let's talk about the graphs on the back and then the remaining problems.
X plus BY equals C.
It is in standard form on the back. Yes, it is in this form. You are correct. But who remembers the shortcut to graph? If it's in,
Just cover the
very good. All right, so I think I have. Remember when you cover up and then solve for the other?
X equals 5.
So if I'm gonna, yes, so I cover up the y here. That means my x-intercept is just 5.
And then cover up thing, it's -y, so would that be -5?
Yes, it would end up being -5. So when we cover up and we get the x value, that means on the x-axis we go over to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is right here, and we plot a point on the x-axis.
And then we draw a line.
Yep, and then we're going to draw a line through those points, yes. So when I cover up this, let me get rid of that. When I cover up the x to solve for y, yeah. And we can't have a -y, so that's why we divide it by -1. So our y is actually going to be a -5. So go on the y-axis and count down 5. This is where the -5 is. And now I have my 2 points that I'm going to put a line through. So I know some of you can do this mentally. Okay, just make sure you watch your signs. Number 10 on the left side here is a good example of that. When I solve for my x-intercept and I cover up my y, we now read it as 9x equals -36. But we have to solve for x. So that requires what? We have to solve for x, so what do we have to do?
Divide both sides
By
by
9.
9.
Yes, good. All right, so our x-intercept is going to equal a -4. Okay, so on the x-axis, I'm going to the left 4 and plotting that point. There's my -4. Now we have to find the y-intercept. So that means cover up the x. That would give me 12y equals -36. Why, what? Yep, that is right. There's my -3. Yep, and then we're going to connect our points. Okay. And then our last section here, this is what we did yesterday. We need to check and verify your understanding. This is the last scale for the test. So
you do y2 minus y1 both on like 12 other things.
yeah, we're gonna find the slope of AB. So if I'm and then compare the answers to determine if it's perpendicular or parallel. For it to be parallel, you have to have the same answer, the exact same number. For it to be perpendicular, it has to be a flip and switch signs. Okay, so when I set this up, this should be 3 minus 13 over 0 minus -2. So what does this turn out to be?
-5.
Yes, -5.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're doing repeat that same skill for CD.
10 minus plus 4. And you do 3 minus 0 over 10 plus 5.
Mhm.
1/5, so
Yeah.
it's perpendicular.
Yeah.
No, perpendicular.
Yeah, it's perpendicular. These numbers, this was a flip. We flipped the number and sign change. Because the numbers were flipped and the sign change is perpendicular. Now, what if you're given the equation? Remember, in the equation, we have to find the m. So if I'm looking at the first equation, which is right here, this 3y equals 4x plus 15.
Divide everything by 3.
Yeah, you have to divide everything by 3 first. So really our equation is y equals 4/3 x plus 5. By doing that, I can see that my slope is the 4/3. Okay, so now when I look at the second equation, this one here, that's not solving for y. Minus 9x.
Perpendicular.
12y equals -9x plus 12.
And then you divide by 12. And you get y equals -3/4 minus 1.
Yeah, this 9/12 can reduce to -3/4x. Excuse me, plus 1.
Perpendicular.
And they're opposite, one's negative, one's positive.
Yeah. So yes, they are perpendicular. All right, we understand what we're doing here? All right, so we're gonna finish this, and then if you need to, you're gonna finish your homework for last night, or you're working on the review, because I'm gonna pass that out to you.